Bedtime Stories.
The Elves and the Shoemaker. Long ago, there lived a shoemaker with his wife in a town. They were very poor. They did not have any children, but both of them were very honest. The shoemaker had a small shop. He bought some leather and made a pair of shoes daily. He earned some money by selling these shoes in the market. He spent a little money on food. With the rest, he bought leather to make another pair of shoes. One day, the shoemaker was not feeling well. He was feeling very tired, though he kept working throughout the day, yet he was not able to finish his work. He was worried. How would I buy the food tomorrow? Where would the leather come from? He said to himself. At last, he thought, I will go to bed now. I can make the shoes early in the morning. He left the shoes unfinished in his shop and went home to sleep. He could not sleep very well. That night, the thoughts of his being unable to finish his work troubled him a lot. When the shoemaker went to his shop in the morning, he was surprised to see a beautiful pair of shoes. He wondered who had made the shoes in his absence. Did you make those shoes? He asked his wife. No, the wife too looked surprisingly at the shoes. She was at a loss to understand anything. The shoemaker got a good price for the pair of shoes that day. He could buy enough leather to make many pairs of shoes. He also bought some delicious food for their supper. The shoemaker and his wife were surprised but happy too. That evening, the shoemaker and his wife cut out 3 pairs of shoes. We shall finish them tomorrow, the shoemaker said to his wife, and both of them went to bed. They expected to get money from the 3 pairs, enough to last them at least a week. The shoemaker got up early in the next morning. He had to finish the 3 pairs of shoes. His surprise knew no bounds when he entered his shop. Lying there in a row were 3 pairs of shining shoes. He ran back home. Did you make those shoes last night? He asked his wife. You know I was sleeping at home. How could I have made the shoes? The wife replied. She too went to the shop to see for herself what her husband had said. There was a great rush for buying those shoes. The shoemaker got a handsome price for them. This time he was able to buy enough leather to make several pairs of shoes. But at the same time, the couple wondered who was making the shoes in the night. I want to know who is making the shoes for us, the shoemaker said to his wife. We can find it out. We will hide ourselves and keep a watch tonight, the wife said to the shoemaker. The shoemaker cut out some more shoes. Then he and his wife hid themselves behind the curtain. They kept standing there for a long time, but nobody came. Who can it be? They kept guessing. Will they come tonight? Both of them kept looking at each other with curiosity. In between, they would peep into the shop from behind the curtain. And then they heard some noises. The shoemaker and his wife became alert. As they pulled the curtain a little, they saw some elves in the shop. The elves got busy making the shoes. The shoemaker and his wife were wonderstruck to see the elves turning the leather into beautiful shoes in no time. As soon as the elves finished making the shoes, they left the shop. The shoemaker and his wife looked first at each other, then at the shoes. "Isn't it amazing? They work so fast yet so beautifully," the wife said to the shoemaker. "I cannot believe my eyes," said the shoemaker. This went on for several days. The elves have been so nice to us. They have been helping us for such a long time, the shoemaker said to his wife after a few days. "Don't you think we should also do something for them?" the wife asked. "You are right. We must do something for them," replied the shoemaker. "But what should we do for them?" asked the shoemaker. They thought and thought and thought. Finally, the wife came out with an idea. "Have you noticed, dear? The elves do not have good clothes. We can make some fine clothes and shoes and repay our debt," she said to her husband. And both of them got busy making beautiful, colorful dresses and shoes for the elves. Soon they made several small coats, pants, caps, and shoes for their little well-wishers. How happy would they be when they see these clothes and shoes? The shoemaker said to his wife, "Yes, dear, we will keep the clothes and shoes in the shop. When they come tonight, they will have these dresses," said the wife. When the elves came at night, they were overjoyed to see the clothes and shoes, even before they got busy with their work. They put on the little beautiful clothes and shoes and caps. They danced and sang in joy. The shoemaker and his wife watched them from behind the curtain. The elves went back after making the shoes. They were very happy. The shoemaker and his wife were also happy. They were rich now. They bought good things for themselves too. They lived happily thereafter. The end.
Please subscribe.